main reason why Muslims hate other people from other religions is very clear. It is very clear. Anyone that has read the Quran would know why Muslims do not accept people from other religions. The Holy Quran itself says, لن ترضى عنك اليهود, the Jews will never be pleased with you, be satisfied with you, and neither will the Christians, until you follow them in their religion, in their culture, and so on. So in other words, unless you convert. When I look at this verse, as an individual, I say, okay, the Jews and Christians will always think that their religion is correct, but so do I. So do I as a Muslim. I also believe that my religion is correct. So it's no big deal. We all think we're correct in our religions. That's how I see it. But another Imam would interpret it saying, oh, see, they don't accept me. So I'm going to make them accept me. I'm going to push my religion down their throats. And that's where you see these documentaries being made about Imams in London, and very aggressive, very angry. Why? Because they feel rejected. Just because the verse tells you they're not going to accept you, it doesn't mean that you have to feel rejected as a human being. The hate is fundamental. It has deep roots going back to 1,400 years, and we cannot deny that. And the main reason why Islam was spread by the sword, by the Caliph, Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman, was because they hated the world they're living in. Our Caliphs really believed, and I mean companions of Prophet Muhammad, they really believed that there is no room for dialogue with the Christians. There is no room for interacting with the Jews. And because of that, the slightest thing, the slightest economic sanction, the slightest misunderstanding would cause war, civil war between the Muslims and the Christians. And the Muslims always say, we're defending ourselves. Why? Because the Quran says so. They don't accept us, so we have to defend ourselves. That's the mentality. And I always say this when I have meetings with government officials. Never think that a Muslim will accept you. Never think. A Muslim will accept you. They will accept what you have to offer them. The money, the dinner, the Eid dinner, the Centrelink, they'll accept. Never think they'll accept you as human beings, no matter what they do, unless they show you they accept you. Unless they go and they hug the Jew. If a Muslim goes out and hugs a Jew, then he's sold out with the Muslim community. That's the biggest sacrifice you can make in front of the Muslim community. No one will pray behind you, because then you're not a good person. So a real Muslim who wants to reform and wants to show you that he's honest needs to do something like that, needs to make a sacrifice. How many Jews have you hugged? You know, and so on. It shows you that in order to be a good person, you need to prove it. And this is actually going back. It's not good. By default, you should be a good person. You don't need to prove to the world that you're a good person. But this is the situation that we are in now. Now, in order to trust a Muslim, they need to prove that they are good people. And who do you point the finger to? Who do you blame? You blame the very script, the Bukhari. You blame, because the Bukhari interpreted the verse of the Quran. I interpret it saying, so what? Our religions don't accept each other. Big deal. Move on. Live a happy life. Religion is not everything. You know, morals is everything. Having integrity is everything. And if Bukhari wants to interpret in a violent way, then we are going to have problems, yes.